to the She's a 10 times 5 show with hosts Laurie Jabbar and Michelle Emick. We're bringing public figures, subject matter experts, and other accomplished guests to the Studio 50 table to serve you up the best tips, tricks, and key takeaways that all us midlifers want to know about. Okay, time to join us for some times 5 fun. Let's go.
Okay, all you tenors. This week we are tackling the biggest sports phenomenon on the planet, pickleball. It's all the rage with us midlifers and has become a huge social beacon for us all. Who better to discuss dinking, lobbing, and the dreaded kitchen than Julie Johnson, 2021 #1 female player on the APP Tour and top-ranked senior player in the world. Both of Julie's children play professionally, and her son is the current reigning national singles champion, and her 17-year-old daughter is a top 10 female player. Simply put, the Johnsons are called the First Family of Pickleball and continue to build their brand in America's fastest growing sport. Laurie and Michelle will discuss all facets of the sport and what's to come. Let's go. Look as good as you feel with great skin made simple. Welcome to the all-in-one skincare system created by world-renowned plastic surgeon Dr. Amir Karam. There's no need to look anywhere else. The Karam MD Trifecta packs more than 20 state-of-the-art ingredients into an easy 3-step system that addresses all aspects of aging for your best skin ever. Use discount code SHE'S10 for 10% off your purchase. Let's go.
Number one, I think the most amazing thing is that, we all talk about inclusion and diversity and all these things. Like literally, if you took a sport that is all of that and put it together, it's pickleball, because anyone can play. And that because especially around the holidays down here in Florida, families will come down and they'll rent Airbnbs and they'll all be together. So you will literally see on the court next to you, the grandma, the grandpa, the mom, the dad, and the grandkids all playing together, having a blast, enjoying, laughing, doing something together outside as a family. That's a little hard to do with basketball and football and baseball. This is something everyone can join in. It doesn't take a lot of skill to be able to play. It takes a lot of skill to be good, but it's something that just about anyone can jump out and do. And I have just seen it over and over and over with, if you go to our local courts, you'll have the 70-year-olds, the 80-year-olds, the 30s, the 40s, the 20s. And now there's huge groups of kids out playing all the time as well. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the things that I thought about is the barrier of entry into that sport is extremely low. Meaning,
Yes.
just like what you said, you can go out and get a paddle and do reasonably well with the sport, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I agree completely. Like it's takes very little to be able to at least play it. Yeah.
Well, what is I guess for someone like myself, never have played, what is the difference between tennis and pickleball? Because I have no idea.
Okay, so tennis, actually, you've got a much bigger court to cover. All right. And so also, I think one of the things we didn't address is that pickleball is it's very social. So it's almost always doubles, right?
Yeah.
Whereas tennis is oftentimes doubles. But pickleball also started with this huge thing where these, like literally, if you go down to the Delray Beach Tennis Center, in the back is the pickleball courts. There's probably between 60 and 100 people back there every day, and they all rotate in. So it's very social. People are hanging out. Whereas the reason I got into pickleball was when we moved to Florida. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to get to play tennis every day. And I couldn't find any tennis players, but I could just walk back to the Delray Beach Tennis Center. Didn't have to call anybody, didn't have to set it up. I could play for an hour. I could play for 3 hours. I could do whatever I want. And so pickleball, it's a much smaller paddle, shorter. And you don't have to run so much to have the coordination as that you do in tennis. So it's just a lot easier to pick up and different set of rules. And tennis is just very difficult to even be good enough to go play or practice at all.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot higher bar going into it.
So so what's your background? I mean, obviously you're one of the best in the world. How do you become that? Do you come from a tennis background? I mean, you must be a tremendous athlete to start, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, when you're my age, 50s, like you grew up playing every sport in the neighborhood with the kids. It's not like our kids' generation where you had to pick and find your sport and start training when you were 3 and never look up, right? So I just grew up. I had 2 brothers and a sister and a neighborhood full of kids. We played everything. Um, and then I played tennis. I love tennis. And like I said, when I came down here, I thought I was going to be playing tennis. Had played pickleball one time before we moved to Florida 6 years ago, and really didn't think anything about it. And then got down here and totally got hooked.
Yeah. Well, it is a very social beast. It
Yeah.
it really is, as you said. Like you could do open play where you just show up and kind of rotate around and meet new people. We like to bring we do it on our Friday night, and we have like a little bit a splash of some cocktail and then a charcuterie board. But
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you though, if you haven't played pickleball and you step on the court, and especially if you're playing with ex tennis players, I find, man, it is friggin' competitive.
Oh, for sure.
You
Yeah.
you see another side to your friends that you wouldn't otherwise have seen when they start to play pickleball and then get good at it. Right?
I'm just gonna say that's sport in general. Like I always say, when you go play a sport with somebody, you see the real person, right? It cuts down all the fluff we can have on ourselves. And when you're out there to win, I say, well, I thought they were nice, but look at them now. You put a paddle in their hand and they change. I think you just finally saw who they really are. But yes, it's so competitive. They're all having a good time. The tennis players, they all have a great skill set, right? So they come in, they already have the hand-eye coordination. They know how to move to a ball, top spin, slice, etc. However, they don't know what they're doing on a pickleball court. It takes a long time to do the full conversion, as we could see in our sweet Sam Query, who came from tennis, right? What was he, top 10 in the world? And in pickleball, he's having a real hard time.
Yeah. Well, the strategy is very, very different. So it's about pacing and timing. And, you get tennis players out there and they want to just smash the ball when really you want to slow down the pace, right?
Correct. And also in tennis, like when you come in to volley at the net, like when you get to the net, you're pretty tight through your upper body because you step in and you hit these volleys. And in pickleball at the kitchen line, the softer you are in your upper body, the better. And so they have a really hard time with readjusting that part of their game.
Yeah. It's the dinks, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the vernacular.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's a dink?
Let's talk about some of this vernacular, because I think one, the scoring is very different, Michelle. It's actually like new math.
Okay.
It makes, I don't know, is someone diabolical invented the scoring? I think that might be the hardest thing to learn about pickleball. But I knew right away it was my sport because of the kitchen. So that's the front part of the court, and you're not allowed in it unless the ball bounces, the wiffle ball we use, right? And anyone who tells me I can't be in the kitchen because I do not cook, I'm in.
Same.
Yeah. See, this is your sport and you just don't know it, right? But let's talk about, so we have the kitchen, we have the dink, which is, why don't you explain it? Because you probably do it immaculately.
I wish. So the dink is what you do when you're at the kitchen line in order to hit a shot that is non-attackable by your opponent. So the whole thing with the dink is that it's soft and low and to their weakest point that they have. So it helps to observe your opponents and know what you're doing. But the tennis players, they tend to hit it hard. Well, that makes it easy because then you can just take it and smack it down. Whereas a dink is just basically a non-attackable shot. It's what the the idea of it is.
Yeah. To slow that pace down. I've got a tennis friend and she's now a pickleballer and her smashes, it's like, oh no. So we got her a visor that says, uh-oh, because if you hit Hillary Loretta a cookie, she's going to send hot lead downrange at you. And it's no fun. That's for sure. You got to slow that shit down. Right. Okay, so let me ask you this. So this is kind of the beauty of it. And Michelle, we're throwing a lot of stuff at you. I know, fire hose to the mouth here. Yeah. Let's talk about the sport because it's now like a huge business, right? And we're seeing, this whole pro and the clinics and everything that's going on around this. And I think I took note because I'm in San Diego and we have the Bobby Riggs Tennis Center.
Yes, Jen Dawson.
Yes. Okay, there's no more tennis courts. They converted every court to pickleball. So can you talk about like the whole ecosystem that's going on and the growth and the whole pro side of it? I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, so pro pickleball basically started, I think it was 2020, pretty much January of 2020, right? Like 3 months before COVID hit really hard, right? Or COVID-19. Yeah, right in there. So there were two tours that started, the PPA, Professional Pickleball Association, and the APP. And since then, there's another group that's come out called Major League Pickleball, which is a team version of pickleball, which was a whole different concept. And my son played in some of those first tournaments. And I remember thinking, well, compared to our tennis days, this is a little rinky dink. And you don't think that at all anymore. Like you go to these big events and they're very well done, good prize money. I kind of laugh because my daughter's 17. And when she was young, she'd say, okay, mom, when I'm 14, I want to get a job so that I can make how much money could I make by the time I graduate high school? So I'd be like, well, what do you want to do? And she said, well, maybe work at Starbucks. And so we'd add up how much we thought she could make if she could work 20 hours a week at Starbucks. And I always look at her and say, I think you're doing a little better than your barista job.
Yeah.
The kids are making, with sponsorships and prize money, and they're doing really well for themselves.
I did not know this. So they get prize money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
In fact, they also
But like, what are we talking? Like Wimbledon's like, in US Open, you get a $3 million check, right? What are we talking?
No. We're not talking anywhere near that. So my son had nationals, well, so last year he played for the PPA, so he got an appearance fee plus his prize money. Okay. So on a typical weekend, he might bring home right around, let's say 10 to 15,000. So, that's more the range you're talking. He played probably too many tournaments last year. And it was whole different set of prize money for Major League Pickleball, as he was on a few teams, Columbus Sliders, Florida Smash, which is based out of Tampa. And so he played for those teams, and it was a little bit different, but then he also has a paddle sponsor and a paddle and another massage therapy gun sponsor. Like he's got other sponsors that pay depending on how he does. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Did he play? What sport did he play prior? Was he playing tennis?
Yes. Until COVID, he was all tennis. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you go on Instagram and you follow some of these pickleball sites, they're very well attended, these tournaments, and they're exciting. I mean, it's fast and furious. And like I get sucked into all of these little clips.
I know. I watch it all the time. We used to be nothing but tennis on our television. Now it's pickleball.
Well, and Julie, you do lessons, correct? So you have that side of the house as well. Now people are taking pickleball lessons so they can learn how to do the right strategies. So that side of the business has really boomed too, right?
Yeah, so I don't personally do many lessons except for I coach my kids. And so like this morning we were up and out at the courts for a couple hours drilling, training, working on stuff and now they're at fitness, but my daughter currently she got home and raced up to Palm Beach Gardens where she's doing a clinic all afternoon for the rest of the day. And I think the kids, she got to do a trip to Mexico where she did tennis at a little resort. There's a lot of vacation destinations now where they're hiring pros to come and train, give lessons while you can do pickleball vacation type situations. So there's a lot of opportunity, and my kids are young. There's some of the more middle aged. I say middle aged. They're not middle aged. Later 20s, they're a lot more content doing lessons on the side. My kids are still at a stage in life where it's like, what? Something's not about me. They
Yeah.
much rather be out there working on their own game and whatnot. But
Is this I don't know. I guess this question for both you, Lori, maybe you know as well, but is it recognized at the collegiate level yet? Or is this something that there are talks of that?
so honestly, we had a friend come from back home in Missouri, and he said that so there is mostly it's intercollegiate, like what
Like
do they call that?
A club sport?
Yes, yes. And they just had the minor league pickleball championships, and I believe University of North Carolina won. And I can't remember. It's weird. I think they may have even been playing Duke in the final. I can't remember. Anyway, they did have that, but it's been a club sport so far. But this guy swore to me this little college in Missouri, Drury College, was had a pickleball team, was starting a pickleball team. I said, well, they have to have people to play. Like, who is it? So I don't know.
Well,
Well,
it's in the Olympics, right?
It's not. They are hoping that it'll be a spectator sport in the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. And there's a guy, Seymour Rifkind, out of Chicago, who has worked tirelessly to make that happen. And Seymour is so funny. You never know where he's going to be on the planet because he's really trying to do get pickleball international. And so I got a WhatsApp message a couple months ago from Seymour, and he was in, I believe, Indonesia. And he said, Julie, is there any chance in 2 weeks that you can meet me in China with the kids? Because I just got the green light for pickleball to be in the Asian games. I was like, Seymour, they've already got a tournament. I'm sorry we can't come, but he got it in the I'm not the Pan Am game. What am I trying to say? It's like all the Asian countries have I don't remember what he called it. Anyway, and he got it on Chinese television. The event was held in China, and I think they had incredible an attendance to watch it. It was really good. And then another group of my friends they're headed down to the Maccabi Games, which is kind of the Olympics for the Jewish community, and they're having pickleball as a spectator sport in that as well. So,
See,
yeah,
Michelle?
I know. Well, yeah, I'm taking notes here.
you guys want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
A friend of mine that trolls all these sites and stuff, he sent me a link, and there was a picture of me on Pickleball Iran.
Nice. Hey, when that happens, you've arrived in the pickleball world.
But we do get a lot of messages on our Instagram from people in India, Australia, and I think it's starting to pick up even in England. At the English Open, they had over 1,000 participants in their first big tournament. So it is starting to really pick up internationally.
Yeah. Well, and you said something that's really key, and one of our sponsors and affiliates is Luxury Pickleball, which is how I got introduced to Miss Julie. And they do put together curated pickleball retreats and vacations that are superb. You go to Scottsdale, you have a couple pros there, you have like 10 people. It's like this thing has really got a lot of tentacles to it, Michelle.
how long does it take to pick it up? So for somebody who's never played, I mean, I was a collegiate athlete, but I mean, I go on the court. Is it going to take me a couple sessions or
Okay, Michelle, what were you a collegiate athlete? What sport?
lacrosse?
Oh, okay. Not long. Not long at all.
Okay.
And it's because you're, with the throwing and the catching of the ball, you already have a developed rotator cuff. You already know about footwork, moving to a ball. Those things make a huge difference. Soccer players, lacrosse, even basketball players, they translate pretty darn well. And you could be playing, if you went out 4 times, you'd be rolling.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I'm flying in, Michelle.
I told you I'm not playing against you until I'm ready to play.
I'll whoop your ass. That's why.
One down.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let's not get this twisted. Michelle and I have a very healthy, competitive vibe. So, yeah. Okay. So Michelle, you bring up a good point. So Julie, what's your advice to someone who is hearing about the pickleball phenomenon and they are a little reluctant to put their hat in the ring? Because what's your advice for getting started and some of the equipment that they might need and things like that?
Yeah, so it's a little tough because people turn into pickleball snobs kind of fast. You've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. And so I honestly would start with a lesson just to learn the basics. And, I feel the best is you go out, you take one private lesson to learn a few of the shots and the strategy, right? Then the next thing that would be great is if they had a beginner group and you could actually start to do point play and some of that kind of thing. And you could have a pro there to talk you through that. And then the next thing would be you get all the numbers of the people that you liked in your little beginner group and you say, hey, do you guys want to meet at the park and play next week? Give that a try and then just go on from there. I've got a dear friend who's 66 and she started playing, I think about a year ago, and she played college basketball. And she said to me, do you know how good it feels to just hit something again? She's addicted. She plays all the time and loves it. Just the fact that she's able to go out and compete, we lose that as we age. We don't do competitive sports anymore. And she and everyone who tries it, they love it. But just find yourself a group. Maybe at a beginner lesson would be a good place to start.
I think that's great advice. And I think that's so true that, as you get older, you don't have that same, competitive, you're not out there hitting a ball. Right. So
yeah,
you guys are really me on this.
Yeah. Well, and I think that Julie, you said a really good thing is there are pickleball snobs. And I think sometimes beginners or maybe I hate to say this, it sounds very patronizing, the less athletic people that step on the court and they go to an open play or it's some type of mixer and they're with pickleball players that are really into it and serious and have developed the skills, they can be mean. And honestly, it can turn you off. So I 100% agree. You got to find the beginners so that you build the confidence, right?
Correct. In fact, my friend has a group chat. She calls them, the group chat is pickleball bitches.
Yeah.
What are some of the mean things they would say? Like there's certain things they say on the court. Give me.
Yeah.
Laurie.
Well,
say stuff, exclude you from the groups.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? What have you seen?
Like pickleball smack talk.
Well, it's a thing. I'll give you an example. We have a friend and she's been very open about, she got pickleball shamed and it was very upsetting to her. She cried. And so I think what I see it manifest itself in constantly correcting, like, oh, well, you should have got that shot. There was one gal, because there's a lot of injuries that happen too.
Yeah.
So there was a shot down the line to my backhand, and I'm an ex-tennis player, so I cannot get past using the two-handed backhand. It's just, it's muscle memory. And it went screaming by me, and I let it go. And I got yelled at, like, you got to go for those shots. And I'm like, you know what? That was a great shot, and give them the point because I'm not going to get hurt. It's like, I'm not diving for stuff at my age. So I think it's things like that. And I think Julie's right. Like, you can kind of see them not like whispering, like not wanting certain people as partners. That happens a lot.
Yeah. They'll dodge them for sure. But
Yeah.
just know this, my son still has his tennis two-handed backhand, and he's the reigning men's singles champion, national champion. So don't worry about the two-handed backhand. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did your kids get involved? So did you start and they followed, or was it the other way around?
No, I was trying to get away from them, and they just came behind me. I was like, oh my God. No, they saw I was going out and playing while my daughter was in school and my son was at the tennis academies. And then I got to where I wanted to go play at night, if there was like certain groups, or I wanted to do this, and they're like, where are you going, Mom? And I was like, I'm gonna go play pickle. And they're like, well, we want to come. So they just started coming with me, and then the pandemic hit, and my son was used to like 4 hours of academy a day, hour and a half of fitness, and there was nothing. So we found some abandoned tennis courts. We taped down some lines. We bought a temporary net, and we started playing a lot of pickleball. And then the pickleball tournaments started back before the tennis tournaments. So he just started playing, and he did better and better. And then there just came a point where we said, hey, listen, buddy, you got to choose one or the other. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's great. I am seeing a lot of young kids starting to do the drills with their parents. And so I think it's only a matter of nanoseconds before this does become a significant intercollegiate type of play.
yeah, it's happening so fast. Today, my son, after we drilled, had a friend come out who had played collegiate tennis and is wanting to, come over. He's like, you have to drill with me, J-Dub. And they're drilling, and he's literally quizzing them down, like a billion questions. You're going to see probably everybody on the challenger satellite circuits in tennis that aren't making it, aren't doing well, start to take a look at pickleball. Next year on the PPA, they've signed Jack Sock, Eugenia Bouchard, Donald Young. I don't know if you guys follow tennis much, but these are all tennis players who've kind of retired, and they're going to throw their hat in the ring and try pickle. So
That's a scary thing. I saw a sizzle piece with Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf,
yeah,
and they were doing I want to say it was a charity event against McEnroe and somebody else. I don't know. And so I thought to myself, oh gosh, this is going to be scary if people like Steffi Graf start playing pickle. I mean, right? It changes the whole sport.
I've already played several tournaments with Gigi Fernandez. She's a 17-time Grand Slam champion, and she plays pickle all the time now.
Is she
And
good?
yeah, she's good, and she's so competitive. Love you, Gigi. She's she's so serious out there. And I mean, not that I'm not serious, but you can still see like Grand Slam champion seriousness come over her during certain points, and it's fun to watch.
I love that. Well,
Yeah.
what do you think? I mean, do you think that when the pros start to migrate over, the former, tennis pros, how do you think that will change the sport?
Yeah, so actually, I don't find it as intimidating. There's some variables here. If you guys want to hear it, fine. But you cut me off. So first of all, one of the things I've noticed is that they have all trained, especially if they were pros. They trained so hard for their sport, tennis, and when they come in and they're not automatically really good, and they realize that there's going to be this giant learning curve that they're going to have to go through, there hasn't been a lot of them who wanted to do it. It's like kind of like, I've been there, I've done that. I don't want to gear myself up. Now I'm 28, 32, not what I'm here for, right? And another thing I've noticed is that every sport has an ideal body size, and there's always exceptions, but there is an ideal. And a lot of the tennis players, the height is great for their serves. And like if you just talk about Sam Querrey, I don't know what he is, like 6'6" or something. And in pickleball, the way the tournaments are set up where you play your entire bracket in a day and the amount of lunging and cutting that they have to do, it feels different. It is different on the body. And the taller guys can't handle it. They break down and it's tough on them. So 6-footish, 6'2"-ish at the most, like they've got a good reach, but it's a difficult sport to play in if you're talking singles. Doubles is different. There your height might help you, but I haven't really seen it yet. Pickleball desperately needs more professional women. And I think it's because, it's a fairly new sport. Most women in their 20s are kind of looking at careers, marriage, children, just typical where it's not like they're going to take up a professional sport. So you see tons and tons of guys in it, and we're getting women, but we need more. So we'll see.
For us.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
It's starting. I'm calling as soon as we're done, calling the pro for private lesson.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I'm actually, it's refreshing to hear that, because honestly, when I do see some of the, exhibition matches with I'm talking big name tennis players, like the iconic ones of Venus, and I just don't want them to wreck the sport because it is a fun sport. I mean, you definitely have to have, I'm an ex-athlete. I was a Division I runner, and I also did soccer in high school. So I have the competitive juices, but I keep it all in perspective. I kind of chuckle and laugh about the whole thing, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want it to become too serious.
Yeah. I mean, the more money that comes in the sport, it's just going to be tough, but hopefully we can all remember where we started and hold on to it for a few more years. So.
Yeah. All right. This is awesome. I mean, I could talk pickle all day long, as you know, Michelle. Where can people find you? And also if they want to follow your two amazing kids on their circuit.
Yeah. So Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I am so bad. I don't even remember I think it's Julie Johnson Pickleball, I think. And then my son is J-Dub Pickleball, and my daughter is Georgia, but it's spelled Jorja, Georgia Ann Pickleball, or Georgia Johnson Pickleball. And then we're on Facebook, so you can find us on there. And like most of pickleball right now is on YouTube, and so you just Google the different tours. However, CBS Sports did their first broadcasting back in April of pickleball, and it was awesome because it was my kids winning the finals in Newport Beach in mixed doubles together. So
that's awesome.
I met the guy who is in charge of CBS Sports in Boston this summer, and I said, you guys will always hold a special place in my heart. And so now they're starting to break into ESPN. They're on the Tennis Channel quite a bit because they've had tremendous response to viewership on the Tennis Channel when they have broadcast pickleball. It's been on Prime Video, quite a bit of stuff they've had tournaments on Prime. So starting to get out there. It's happening.
I was surfing, and I feel like it was ESPN that I saw some pickleball action. So
the last finals, I believe, were in the year-end finals that they had in San Clemente just a few weeks ago. And we were out there and enjoying what I call cold weather because we're Floridians.
Yeah. We're pretty consistent. We're high 70s, low 74 during this time of year. So, okay. You ready to have a little fun?
Let's do it.
Okay. So you're going to love this. This is the luxury pickleball segment.
Yeah. Is Donna here?
She's not here, but she's here. She's here in spirit. So the luxury pickleball lightning round. And for those of you who do not know luxury pickleball, luxurypickleball.com, and they have really great curated pickleball experiences and products. She's a 10, gets you 20% off. So let's go. All right. 5 questions we ask all our guests. We're putting you in the hot seat. We're going to start easy and then move to a real tough one.
Oh boy. Okay.
You got it. You can handle this. Okay. And I already know what the answer to this one's going to be. Where is your happy place?
Ah, you do. You can answer for me.
Yeah. Both of our
Yeah.
happy places. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. My favorite thing to do is to just go out and play rec games with my friends, not worry about contracts, agents, reality TV shows, any of that stuff, and just to go out and to be with my friends in the sunshine playing pickle. Love it. My favorite place. My favorite thing.
Well, if you're on a reality show, I need to fly out.
No, because I turned 3 down. I'm like, I can't do that. Sorry.
On what? They want like on pickleball?
Yeah, to follow the fam around and film us in pickle, it's just not my thing. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather be whipped. I couldn't.
Get
Okay.
it. Yeah.
That's
What?
your unhappy place.
Correct. Yes, I'm not much for the spotlight. I love it for my kids, but
Yeah.
I just can't imagine getting up in the morning and having somebody have a camera in my face. I just was like, no.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay. All right. Next question. If you could sit next to anyone on an airplane, who would it be?
Oh, wow. Anyone on an airplane? Who would it be? Oh, alive or dead? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Um, I don't know why I'm saying this, but honestly, the first person that pops into my head is Winston Churchill. I just read so many books on World War II, and he had such a fascinating personality and brain. I would love to have sat and picked his brain for a while, but there's so many I could keep going. But that's the first person that pops into my head.
Well, on a separate note, did either of you see the World War II documentary on Netflix? I watched it this weekend. Wow.
No.
That's a good one. Watch it.
All
Okay.
right. Well, yeah. Well, you have to send me that one because there's a lot of them out there. Is this a new one?
It's a new one. And
Okay.
What's it called?
I don't know, but it'll probably show up now that we're talking about it. It'll probably show
Show up in your feed. Yeah.
up in your feed. Yeah.
Yeah. If you do sit next to Winston Churchill, there will be scotch involved.
A cigar. He can't smoke on a plane. Maybe he'd be grumpy.
Yeah. Okay. Do you believe in UFOs and aliens?
No, sorry.
Oh,
And my husband's watched a lot of those shows. I don't. I'm sorry.
okay. That's
And
okay.
I hope one shows up and proves me wrong.
I feel that's my worst nightmare. I don't need a schmooze showing up. I got enough shit to deal with already.
Okay. Next question. Favorite concert you ever attended?
We actually it was just a couple weeks ago, my son and I went and saw U2 in the Sphere in Vegas. It was so fun. Yeah.
I heard that's amazing.
It was pretty spectacular. Yeah. Yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah. Well, I heard, it's interesting. We were all going to go from our neighborhood, and I get a little bit of vertigo. Like I can't do roller coasters and stuff anymore. And I heard that if you're high up, you're leaning forward in the sphere and you get kind of dizzy.
Oh, well, we were on what
The
do they
floor?
call it? The floor. Yeah, we were on the floor. And so I didn't get dizzy. Well, I kind of got a crick in my neck from looking up, but I didn't really get dizzy.
Yeah. I heard,
Maybe because it did seem like those people were kind of just stacked up there.
yeah, because you're stacked on a sphere. So you're kind of, yeah. So I kibosh that until I can afford some good seats because they ain't cheap, Michelle.
No.
I haven't looked into it. I just,
Yeah, it's you're talking if you go to Vegas for just a small weekend and you do the sphere, and it's like a few grand easily. So Anyway.
We were there for pickleball tournaments. We were already there. But yeah, I hear you. It was not. And there was ladies next to me who'd flown in from France just for the show and flown in from Ireland. They were from everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, final question. If you could tell your younger self something that you have learned as of today, what would it be?
Oh, one thing I would tell myself a million things because I was like, okay, one thing. Um, have more fun. I was so serious. I think I wish I would have just had more fun and taken life a little lighter. I think so. I think that's what it is.
Awesome. I think, yeah, I think we all should tell our younger selves that. I have the inkling that Michelle had a lot of fun though.
So,
I was thinking, wow, I did have a lot of fun. And Laura, you're a little more buttoned up. So you're having fun now, though. You're making up for it.
Yeah.
on
Well,
the pickleball court.
yeah. Well, Julie, you know, I was a class clown that somehow ended up at West Point.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. I was not your stereotypical female that would go to West Point, and especially in the earliest years. It was hard. The first year was really hard for me, but I made it out alive. But that's what Michelle's. So I was buttoned up for a while, but I had to be.
You were so buttoned up. Did you spend any time in the military after that?
Yes, you have a at least 6-year obligation to serve after you graduate. Yeah.
Okay, looking at you, I would have guessed all day. I wouldn't have guessed military.
I don't know if that's a compliment, or how about Private Benjamin?
No.
Remember the movie with Goldie Hawn?
Yeah, but I just I just don't yeah, that's not the vibe I'm getting.
Good.
Yeah.
Honey, what's the vibe?
Well,
Like-
I would say I would have actually said maybe medical background or something like that, but not military.
Interesting. People give off vibes, right? What vibe do I?
Yeah, what's
You
Michelle's?
definitely give off the vibe that you've had a lot more fun in life than I have.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of fun now. I don't think as much. I'm
Oh,
probably more buttoned up now.
Yeah, Michelle runs a magazine, so that takes a little bit of time.
Were you a cheerleader, Michelle?
No, I was not. I played it's funny you were saying that. We all played like 3 sports back then, right? It was like you did a little bit of everything. No cheerleading for me.
Okay. Well, you have some really great eye makeup going on right now, and I'm kind of jealous, but you know.
Okay, well, I'll tell the story behind that if you guys want to hear about it. We just secured a partnership with WFLA Tampa. And I did the first episode because we're on weekly. I did the first episode and I saw myself on, the big screen. And I was like, I need to go get my lashes done. That's what it is.
I am kicking myself for not have done that for the holidays, and now I don't have time to do it. But because
How long does it take?
It didn't take long. I was there for like a half hour, but I'm not a big makeup person. I never have been. And when you're on camera, you go in and the host is, full done up and dressed and put together. And I'm like, oh, I look like it, So I was like, I need a little something to step up my game.
You're looking good, Michelle. You're looking good.
Yeah. Thanks, Julie. I'm feeling good now.
Thank you so much for being here. And I just love that you're living the pickleball dream.
Oh, thanks. It's been fun. It's a story I would have never seen coming, but I love it. It's been a great time.
It's great about it, right?
Yeah. Traveling the country with my 2 kids, hanging out, sports. It couldn't be any better. It's been great.
Yeah. I know. Kind of jealous.
Come join us. You won't be after one tournament.
I feel like it's not too late for us. Everything that was my takeaway.
That's right. Senior pros, 50 and over. There you go.
Yeah, fuck the podcast. Let's become doubles partners, Michelle.
Correct. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening in. And until next time, adios.
Are you looking for high-end pickleball equipment, attire, or even a luxe pickleball vacation? Introducing Luxury Pickleball, the curator of all products and experiences for your social or competitive pickleballer. Paddles, attire, accessories, and quality life experiences wherever you travel with your paddle. Use discount code SHE'S10. That's SHE'S10 for 20% off for quality on and off the court. Let's go.
Follow us on Instagram at She's a 10 times 5. You can click on the link in our bio to listen to all of our previous episodes, as well as check out our live video interviews over our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, pretty much wherever else you decide to listen to your favorite podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe.